Could The Amazing Spider-Man 3 still be moving ahead at Sony? A storm of uncertainty has surrounded the Spider-Man franchise since it was announced that it was being pushed back to 2018, and then further confusion created by the emails and the Sony hacks. But now Cinema Blend is reporting that a New York agency has put out a casting call for Sony's The Amazing Spider-Man 3. In the casting call, it states that it is looking for extras for The Amazing Spider-Man 3, with Andrew Garfield and Dane DeHaan listed as stars. John Byers said that Sony is still moving forward with The Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Hesitantly, I buy it because I've always kind of believed that The Amazing Spider-Man 3 will still happen and will still, in all this cloud and storms of, oh, they fired Andrew Garfield, oh, this is happening, oh, this is happening. Here's the problem with developing entire worldviews based on an email you get from some hacker. I don't know about you, but in 2014, I probably personally wrote about 12 to 1,500 email messages. And if you pulled out just one or two and put them out, it may look like I'm about to move to Chicago. If you just read one, it may look like I'm about to buy a new Corvette or something like that. But if you actually read the context, the entirety of my email chains, you know that none of that is actually happening. Things can look, and I think that's what we do in Movie Fandom. We get one glimpse of one thing, and then we develop an entire philosophy around what is actually going on because we read that 7-line email. Well, really, but we don't know. There could have been 55 other emails that completely contradict that at the same time. So just for me personally, I never got caught up too much, other than with the job stuff. That was fascinating. But I never got caught up too much in any of this stuff about Spider-Man, this Spider-Man, that Spider-Man, all this other kind of stuff. I still believe Sony's going to make it. Do I believe in this report that they're casting extras right now for Spider-Man 3? Yeah, probably not. No, I don't. But I've always believed that Sony will do Amazing Spider-Man 3, and I haven't seen anything to suggest or to convince me otherwise it's not going to happen. Anyway, Christian, what do you think?
It's hard for me, but I think it's a ruse. I don't think they're going to make Spider-Man 3, and I think Marvel will get. If they do make it, it's going to be with.
So you sell this report?
I do sell. Excuse me. Yeah, I sell the report. I think that. Especially with the extras, I absolutely sell it. I think that it's going to be something where we find out down the line that Marvel has made a deal with Sony, and this is by nothing me just thinking in my head, maybe hoping.
We're just speculating.
Speculating. I think that Marvel and Spider-Man will have a deal. Maybe Sony will be able to make a Spider-Man 3, but in a combined with some kind of deal that they do with Marvel. I don't know how it's going to go down, but I just think there's too many reports of it. Granted, there were a few hacked emails here and there, but just the way things have been coming out in the public, I think that Spidey's coming back to Marvel. I really do, and I think we're going to hear about it this year.
I don't. Anyway, check
it. I think just hearing it, talking about it. Now here's my little my new rumor. So they're both shooting in Atlanta. Okay, Civil War, Captain America: Civil War, and now The Amazing Spider-Man 3, also in Atlanta at exactly the same time. That's what this casting. So I'm conjecturing that they are doing what Batman vs Superman did when they shot that Gotham versus Metropolis sporting event 2 years ago. Remember they shot that? Mm-hmm. 2 years ago. And that's 4 years that we have to wait for Batman versus Superman to come out. So I think they might be shooting a sequence that Sony's like, look, you can have The Amazing Spider-Man, you'll help us co-develop it, yada, yada, yada. And they're going to shoot that sequence.
Oh, so you're going deep into the conspiracy theory stuff.
Super nerd, freak style. They're shooting a sequence for Civil War, but Sony is still containing it. And
could they possibly? Okay. Let's live in that for a second. If that was true, and that's an incredible thought. In today's day and age, could they possibly have kept that under wraps that's happening?
I don't think Sony could have.
No, obviously there's reports about it. We're talking about it. There's no wraps.
I mean, look, I'm buying this. Look, I love all your guys' ideas. I really do. I'm going to try to be a little bit more in the reality world for now. I'm not saying that those things couldn't happen, but I think I'm buying it from Sony's perspective that you need to put on a brave face and say, oh no, we're going forward. We had our Spider-Man Summit in January, and man, it was awesome. We got this great idea. We all are in agreement this is the way to move forward. Plus, if they're casting extras, you know this, Christian. The worst thing about The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the extras. They were horrendous.
They were cheering while the rhino's shooting at them.
They didn't run.
Getting shot to death.
They need to be casting extras that can run. We need extras that can look scared, not excited. This is why you cast extras first in a movie.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.